Welcome to Live Interactive English. Hello, everyone. I am Mike.
And I'm Sam.
And today, Sam, we are going to be doing a story from the Bible about a place called Babel. It's Babel from the Bible. Yeah.
I don't think that's right. I mean, I'm not super familiar with it, but I'm pretty sure the word is babble.
Ah, it's babble, as if you're talking nonsense.
Yes, that is what toddlers and babies do. They babble, 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 babble.
Oh, so the Tower of Babel, or Babel, I don't know how this is an old place, but it's a place that is in the Bible, of course, the Bible being the holy book of many religions, but this is the Old Testament. It's also an important book for Jewish people and, of course, Christian people. This is the part of the Bible with Adam and Eve and Noah's Ark and Moses and all those great ancient stories. There's no Jesus in this one. That's the New Testament. So the Tower of Babel, or Babel, is the story that we're going to be reading today.
Yes, and I actually don't know much about this story, so I'm also excited to see where does it go. I am familiar, of course, with the flood and with Noah's Ark and how he had all those animals on that giant boat.
That giant stinky boat.
Yes, oh, I'm sure. And then they stayed out for a long time.
They did,
and then
40 days and 40 nights.
Then the water went away. And apparently, now we are post Noah's Ark.
Oh, really? So this is going to have some of the same characters from the Noah story. Well, that's nice. I always wondered what happened to them. I also do remember that Noah had several sons, and I always remember that one of them was named Ham.
Oh.
Yeah. So when you have a ham sandwich, that's not the same thing, but it is a kind of a nice name. So let's find out all about what happened to Noah and how this Tower of Babel, or Babel, came along, and we're going to begin doing all of that right now. In ancient times, God sent a great flood to wipe out the evil people. Only the good man Noah and his family, along with pairs of animals they protected, survived in a huge wooden boat. The boat carried them through the storm until it was safe once more. As time passed, Noah's family had many children, and the population began to grow again. At this time, the world's people spoke the same language and shared a common culture. They journeyed east and made their home in the land of Shinar. Okay, here we are with our big 2-day Bible story about the Tower of Babel. We're going to go with Babel as our pronunciation. This is from an ancient language from thousands of years ago. So often with these words, we're never really sure how to say the words. I mean, even Latin, the language of the Romans, everyone who spoke it then is dead now. So there's a lot of questions, but anyways, we're going to decide on one way to say it, the Tower of Babel. So let's go with our story.
Yes, and so we have this word tower, and tower is a noun, and it is just a big structure. It can be a standalone structure, or sometimes it might be connected to another piece, and it's very, very tall, and it's maybe square or circular, and it's usually something that you might use for like defense if you're trying to if it's olden days, you might have built a tower and attached it to a castle and put all your soldiers up there to kind of protect the castle.
Yes.
So that is a tower, and our example sentence actually does mention a castle, and it says, the old castle had a tall stone tower.
Ah, good thing to make a tower out of. Stone, yeah. And of course, this is not a skyscraper, so we can have tall buildings like Taipei 101. That's not a tower. A tower would be smaller, narrower, or older, and also, yes, for war fighting and things like that. So let's find out about this tower in the town of Babel and why it's a big Bible story. It says, in ancient times, God sent a great flood to wipe out the evil people. This is the Noah thing
story,
you were just mentioning. And in ancient times, that means thousands and thousands of years ago. We don't really need a date. If it's really, really old, we might not even know know the date. We're just saying a long, long, long time ago. And God sent a great flood to wipe out the evil people. Wow, they must have been really evil because they were wiped out. I guess that means like killed by a flood. And yes, floods can kill people both in ancient times and even today, because a flood is when you have a lot of water where it really shouldn't be. Water in oceans, water in seas, water in rivers. That's all good. But when it rains too much or when big tides come in, like a tsunami from an earthquake, and the water goes on the land, that is a flood. And of course, floods can destroy farms and destroy cities and have rivers running down roads, and it's very, very bad to be in a flood. For example, the heavy rain caused a flood that damaged several homes. I used to live in Shiji. They had floods out there.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
oh,
wasn't
terrible.
fun. Yeah, very dirty, very nasty.
Yeah, and so like you said, mostly you will know when a flood is coming, but the kind of flood that you don't know is called a flash flood.
Ooh,
so
those are fast ones.
Yes, if you ever hear the term flash flood, that's like a flood that pops up super fast and you might not have very much warning. Yes, all right, so we are after the flood, and it says, only the good man Noah and his family, along with pairs of animals they protected, survived in a huge wooden boat. Okay, so we know the story of Noah and how he built that giant boat and put his family and put all two of every animal onto that boat. And there were all a bunch of people who are kind of like, Noah, what are you doing? You must be crazy. And he tried to get them to kind of believe him, but they wouldn't.
Nope.
Yeah, and so we're post this, which means after this story, and we know that this kind of ended with the next sentence that says, the boat carried them through the storm until it was safe once more. So everybody on the boat survived, every animal, every living thing on the boat survived. And when the flood was done and it had gone down, then it was safe for everybody to come out again. And now it's kind of an interesting time because now they're all on the earth again. But in theory, there's only two people or maybe just a couple people in the entire world. So this is kind of the interesting side of what comes next after this giant flood. And now we will go see what our Chinese teacher Hanny has to say about all of that.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。这一次要读的是出自圣经创世纪的故事，叫做 The Tower of Babel 巴别塔的故事。那故事提到，在古代，上帝降下大洪水，消灭邪恶的人，只有善良的 Noah 和他的家人，以及他们保护成对的动物，在一艘巨大木船中有幸存下来。好，那么单字 tower 就是表达塔或是塔楼，那么 flood 它表示洪水或水灾。Sam 老师这时候有提到 flash flood， 这是表达爆洪或者是突然爆发骤发的洪水。而 Mike 老师则提到 tsunami 或是 tsunami， 它表示海啸。好，那么刚刚说 Noah 和他的家人以及怎么样，这篇文中它是用到片语介系词 along with， 我们介绍两种用法。首先 along with 可以表达连同以及，它就跟 together with 意思相同，后面可以接人或事物。例如 Tim lost his wallet along with his ID and credit cards. Tim 把他的皮夹连同身份证和信用卡一起弄丢了。好，那么注意在 A along with B 这样的情况当中，这个动词必须跟主词 A 一致做变化。举例来说Amy, along with her husband and children, is traveling to Japan next month. Amy 以及她的丈夫和小孩下个月将前往日本旅行。那第二个我们可以用 along with 来表达，除了点点点之外还怎么样，就跟 in addition to 意思相同。举例来说 ，Along with the dress, I also bought a scarf. 除了洋装之外，我还买了一条围巾。那接话课文中。
All right, we are back. So the flood is over. The 40 days and 40 nights of rain have passed. Noah, his family, and all the animals in the ark have survived. Yay! But there aren't any other people in the world. They were all washed away in the flood. So this is a tough time for the world. As time passed, or, many years later, Noah's family had many children, and those children had children and children and children, and the population began to grow again. This is clearly not Noah and his family having thousands of children all at once, but I think over generations, over years, the population, the number of people in the world began to grow again. There were more and more people, just like before the flood. It says, at this time, the world's people spoke the same language and shared a common culture. Okay, I guess if everyone comes from, two parents or, a set of people, a small group of people, then everyone would speak the same language as those people, their parents and grandparents, and their culture, their religion, the food they eat, all that kind of stuff would all be common or would all be kind of the same.
They journeyed east and made their home in the land of Shinar. And so we had this word journey. So journey can be a verb or a noun. You've probably heard it as the noun version to say like they went on a journey or like a long trip or an adventure or something like that.
Is it like a voyage?
Similar, but a voyage would be usually on the ocean.
Ooh.
You go sail on a boat. That's usually
Okay.
when you hear people talk about a voyage. But of course, it can be used in the same idea of going on a big adventure.
Yes.
But journey in this way is used as a verb. They journeyed, they traveled, they made their way to this place. And it says the group journeyed far across the desert. So not just a short trip, they had to go a long distance, they had to go over the desert. It might have some hardships, they might have to deal with some obstacles, but it will be hopefully worth it in the end.
And it might take them a heck of a long time. And we're going to go over to meet Hanny, not for a long time, just for a short time, and then we will be back.
随着时间的流逝 ，Noah 的家族有了许多子孙，人口又开始成长。那这个时候，人们是讲同一种语言，拥有共同的文化。那他们向东旅行，并在 Shinar 这个地方定居下来。好，单字 journey， 它可以当动词表达旅行，也可以当名词来指旅程、行程。老师们说的 voyage 这个字也可以当名词或动词来表达旅行，尤其是指航海旅行。那这话课文中。
All right, guys, now we've kind of come to the halfway point of our first day of talking about the Tower of Babel. We haven't been to Babel and there is no tower yet. So you're going to have to come back after this and find out what happens in part 2. Let's check it out. Here, the people had a grand ambition to build a tower so tall that it would reach the sky. They imagined this tower would show their power and prevent them from being spread across the earth. The people worked hard day and night, and as the tower grew, their pride did too. It felt like nothing could stand in their way. However, up in the heavens, God was watching. He saw that their pride was growing and decided to stop them before they forgot about him. Okay, we are back with part 2 of the Tower of Babel. No tower, no Babel, but wait a moment. We're going to change one of those things right now. It says here in Shinar, thank you, the place that Noah and his children's children settled and made their land in their new home. Here, the people had a grand ambition. Ooh, that's pretty good. Okay, what was their grand ambition? To build a tower so tall that it would reach the sky. Okay, I mean, I'm not sure why, but it's a pretty grand ambition. Bravo. This, of course, is thousands of years ago. They didn't have steel and cranes to lift things. I guess the tallest building at that time was the pyramids in Egypt, right? And those are big, but I mean, they don't reach the sky. So this is a big ambition. An ambition is kind of a goal, an objective, something you want to achieve or do in the future. It's probably not easy. It's going to take time and hard work and maybe even a little bit of luck. But if someone says to a young person, what do you want to be when you grow up? And they're like, I want to be an astronaut. I want to go to Mars. I want to be president. I want to win an Oscar. I want to win a gold medal at the Olympics. those are ambitions. Those are big goals that you set for yourself, and it's something that you will work hard to achieve, and hopefully in the future, you will achieve your ambition. You will reach that goal. Let's talk about Robert. You know Robert? Robert's ambition is to become a successful doctor.
Oh, that's a good ambition.
So, a lot of medical school, studying tests, but in 8-10 years after university, he can do it. I believe in you, Robert.
Yes, okay. So they had wanted they had this ambition to create a giant tower that would touch the sky.
Right.
So why? Well, it says they imagined this tower would show their power and prevent them from being spread across the earth. I'm not exactly sure why they were worried that they would be spread across the earth, but showing their power, that is something that a lot of people will kind of build big, impressive towers or statues or the pyramids or any of this to kind of prove, hey, we are a powerful little city here. Don't mess with us.
They still do it today, right? Countries build really tall buildings and go, look at what we did. And tourists will come and it's a wonderful thing. But they did it to prevent them being spread across the earth. Maybe the idea was, well, this tower is so amazing. Why would you want to move away and leave this land? Look at our amazing tower. You can climb it and touch the sky. It will prevent people from going away and they'll all stay in Shiner.
Yes, and so we had this verb prevent. And to prevent something means to try to stop something from happening. You don't want something to happen, so you're going to do what you need to do to prepare yourself or to prevent it from happening. It doesn't necessarily mean it will 100% keep you from actually having that thing happen, but we want to try to keep that bad thing from happening, so we use the word prevent. And we have our example sentence. It says, her quick thinking prevented the crisis from getting worse. So she was able to think quickly, and so the bad situation didn't get way worse. It would just stayed at a semi-bad situation.
Okay, and to prevent us from getting confused by our story, let's go over to Teacher Henny.
在 Shiner 定居之后，人们就有一个远大的野心，他们想要建造一座可以达到天际的高塔。他们想象这座塔可以展现他们的力量，避免他们被分散到世界各地。那说到高耸的建筑时 ，Mike 老师有提到 pyramid， P-Y-R-A-M-I-D。pyramid 表示金字塔，或是可以指三角锥体。那么单字 ambition 它表示野心、抱负或者是雄心壮志。prevent 这个动词表示阻止、预防，我们可以用 prevent somebody or something from 再加上动词 ing 来表达阻止某人做某事、预防某事发生。那单字例句提到说，阻止危机恶化，可能就是维持在不太好那种半好半坏的情况。那么 Sam 老师刚刚说 a semi-bad situation， 这个字首 S-E-M-I 念作 semi 或是 semi， 它有一半或部分的意思。好，那这边还有一个重点是 so 加上形容词或副词加 that 子句，表示如此怎么样，结果怎么样。非常点点点以至于点点点。那么 so 点点点 that 这是一种强调结果的句型，我们透过描述某件事的程度，也就是形容词或副词的程度，来引出 that 子句的结果。举例来说 ，The boy laughed so hard that he fell off the chair。男孩笑得很用力，结果从椅子上跌下来了。好，这回到课文中。
Okay, we are back. So they're building a big tower. This, of course, is thousands of years ago, and that would have taken a very long time and a lot of stone. It says the people worked hard day and night, and as the tower grew, their pride did too. It felt like nothing could stand in their way. So work was going well. They thought the results of this tower that they could see growing day by day was wonderful, and they felt really good about ourselves. We're pretty amazing. We're awesome. We're such great tower builders. Nothing can stand in our way. If something stands in somebody's way, it's a problem, right? It's something that's stopping you from moving forward. I mean, literally, if you're walking down the street and someone's like, haha, you can't get past me, they're standing in your way. But generally, we wouldn't use it in that kind of real way. We might say, I'm having a problem, this thing in my life that's making things difficult in many different ways. But if something is standing in somebody's way, it is stopping them from doing what they want to do.
Yes, and so all of the people in this town are feeling really pretty good about themselves.
We're pretty awesome.
Yes, but somebody was not as happy with what was going on.
Is it Ham?
No.
Noah's son?
No,
okay.
he was generations
long
ago.
gone. Okay, sorry.
So, and then it says, however, up in the heavens, God was watching. He saw that their pride was growing and decided to stop them before they forgot about him.
God's getting angry.
Yeah, so he's not necessarily angry about them building this tower, even though apparently it's supposed to reach to the sky and maybe get close to him.
That's okay. God doesn't mind visitors.
Yeah, but he is worried that they are growing prideful or full of pride. They're all starting to get a little bit too, hey, I'm the best, I'm the greatest.
Yeah.
And he's like, whoa, 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 don't forget about me.
I'm God.
Yes, and so we'll see what Teacher Hanny has to say about this little section of the article.
All praise to Teacher Hanny.
为了建造这座高塔，这群人日以继夜的努力工作。随着塔越建越高，他们也越来越骄傲，感觉似乎势不可挡。那么，上帝决定要在人们忘记他之前阻止这些人。Sam 老师这时候用到 prideful 这个形容词，在 pride 后面加上 ful， 那它是形容高傲的、骄傲自大的。而文中用到 stand in somebody's way， 字面意思是站在某人路上，这表示说阻止某人、妨碍某人做某事。而 Mike 老师在解释字面意思时，他有用到 literally 这个副词，它就是指说照字面地。那么刚刚说感觉势不可挡，文中是用 feel like 表达感觉，我们这边要介绍它的意思跟用法。好，那第一个 feel like 可以表达感觉像是点点点，或是似乎点点点，后面可以接子句或名词。例如 He feels like the happiest person in the world， 他觉得自己像是全世界最快乐的人。那第二个我们可以用 feel like 来表达想要做点点点，后面可以接名词或动名词。例如Do you feel like a walk？ 或是 Do you feel like taking a walk？ 你想要散步吗？好，那这回课文中。
So God is getting a little bit angry, a little bit ticked off, you might say, at the people of Shinar. They're building this giant tower and they're thinking that they're pretty awesome and they might not be worshiping God in the way that he would like. And that can often lead to bad things if you've ever read the Bible or, other stories like this. So we're going to have to find out what happens tomorrow. I don't think it's going to go well. And the other thing is, you can visit the pyramids today. You can't visit the Tower of Babel. So some tells me that tower ain't going to be there much longer. But you're going to have to come back and join us tomorrow to find out. We'll see you then. Bye-bye. In ancient times, God sent a great flood to wipe out the evil people. Only the good man Noah and his family, along with pairs of animals they protected, survived in a huge wooden boat. The boat carried them through the storm until it was safe once more. As time passed, Noah's family had many children, and the population began to grow again. At this time, the world's people spoke the same language and shared a common culture. They journeyed east and made their home in the land of Shinar. Here, the people had a grand ambition, to build a tower so tall that it would reach the sky. They imagined this tower would show their power and prevent them from being spread across the earth. The people worked hard day and night, and as the tower grew, their pride did too. It felt like nothing could stand in their way. However, up in the heavens, God was watching. He saw that their pride was growing and decided to stop them before they forgot about him.
最后，我们来复习今天课文里的单字文法。单字的部分有 tower 是塔、塔楼 Flood 它表示洪水、水灾。Journey 当动词表示旅行，它也可以当名词表达旅程、行程。Ambition 这个名词表示野心、抱负或雄心壮志。那么 prevent 是动词，表示阻止或预防。文法的部分，第一个学到片语介系词 along with， 它可以表达连同以及，这时候跟 together with 意思相同。那它也可以表达除了点点点之外还怎么样，那这时候跟 in addition to 意思相同。第二个我们学到了 so 加上形容词或副词加 that 子句，表示如此点点点结果怎么样，非常点点点以至于怎么样。那第三个学到的是 feel like 的意思与用法。那首先它可以表达感觉像是怎么样，似乎怎么样，后面可以接子句或名词。那另外我们学到它可以表达想要做某事，后面可以接名词或动名词。那以上是今天的讲解，同学们别走开，马上回来哦。
Oh, oysters, the love of my life. If you're like me and are a fan of the scrumptious taste of oysters, then today's location is one that cannot be missed. The township of Fangyuan is located near the western coast of Zhanghua. It is famous for its oyster culture. Locals used to farm oysters with the help of buffaloes, making Fangyuan known for its sea buffalo culture. Today, buffaloes have mostly been replaced by trucks. However, tourists can still enjoy riding to the intertidal zones on the buffalo-drawn carts and try their hands at oyster picking. Fangyuan is also a popular spot for ecotourism. Its intertidal zones are darker than a typical beach because mud from the rivers mixes with the ocean sand. This effect creates a unique black sand landscape. The zones are also rich in organic materials. This means it's easy for animals to find food, so many animal species thrive. A number of creatures, including fish, shrimp, shellfish, and crabs, can be found. Visitors who go on oyster-picking tours can explore the vast landscape along with the local wildlife. Fangyuan Township is an excellent destination to learn about local culture while witnessing the beauty of a thriving ecosystem. When we say thriving ecosystem, what do we mean? To thrive means to grow strongly and vigorously, and an ecosystem is a community of organisms and their physical environment interacting together, which means that the ecosystem that grows in Fangyuan is growing very well, which also means it's probably got amazing oysters. Oh man, I'm getting hungry. I think I'm gonna go directly to Fangyuan now to get myself some oysters. See ya.